And the thing is that sometimes raising prices on current clients is harder than when you get a new client and they say, okay, what are your prices? And you just set that higher price. One of the reasons that I've been talking to you about raising your prices is, and I've been kind of harping on that, is because you may run out of, and I want you to think strategically about this, you may actually run out of your pool of local business owners that you've been tapping into through the Chamber of Commerce and through your other local meetup groups. And so what I'd actually like you to do is step back, and especially now as we're going into the new year and just in a retrospective moment and a strategic thinking moment, I'd like you to step back and think about, okay, and use some of the tools that you know about from personal funnels. Okay, like these are my relationships. These are the relationships that I already have. These are the potential relationships that I haven't tapped into yet. And you can set them up in stages of your know, like, and trust pipeline, right? Okay, obviously everyone in these networking groups know you. Who likes me, who is a potential client, right? Who trusts me already, who is a current client. And the thing is that sometimes raising prices on current clients is harder than when you get a new client and they say, okay, what are your prices? And you just set that higher price, right? You have set that goal for yourself. They're like, okay, I'm going to be raising prices. We've also talked about how you can use, you offer them packages, right? Which gives them options. You use that high anchor. And then, of course, when you anchor high, the middle package, it looks like better value, or even the low package, it looks like better value. But what I'd like you to do is, instead of blowing through this pool of in-person relationships that you have, what I'd like you to do is step back and think about, okay, I need to start raising my prices. How many people do I have left before I've used up this pool, right? And let me pause here a minute and say that we've talked about how we want to have an abundance mindset, right? But maybe the extreme of an abundance mindset is not based in reality. It's like, oh yeah, customers will come from anywhere because I believe it, right? And I'm going to manifest it. I'm going to speak it into existence. And obviously we don't want to be the other extreme, which is, be a small-minded business owner. Oh, my business is going to fail. I can never do it. Nothing's going to work, right? And if you're always negative, you're never going to grow your business. You're never going to try new things. You're never going to step outside your comfort zone, right? So we want to find the middle balance of this and be optimistic, but still think strategically and be like, okay, I'm starting to use up all the potential clients from this pool that I have. I need to start thinking about raising my prices. I need to start thinking about, okay, here are my goals, or here are my needs financially, or here is how much it actually costs me to build this website or do this service. I need to start raising my prices, because then we get into a whole different discussion, which is, well, if you haven't applied the tools from personal funnels, or you haven't figured out how to raise your prices, and you've used up that whole pool of relationships, where do you go after that? Okay, maybe you can find another networking group, right? But you almost have to, as we've talked about, use these relationships to introduce you to other relationships that are profitable, that are bigger businesses that can help you grow, right? Help you solve bigger problems, greater value problems. Or you may be stuck like everybody else. If you don't think strategically, you may be stuck like everybody else going, oh, okay, now I have to create content. And there is a 6 months to a year lag between when you go, oh, I need clients, I better start creating content, and when you actually get clients. And for most people, they may not be good at creating content, right? That's a whole separate skill, multiple skills in there. And of course, then you're competing against everybody else, right? And we've talked about it with the personal funnels course. There's so many advantages to in-person relationships because they know that you're not trying to scam them or that you're a real person. They can meet with you in person and see that you care. You're local, so it's helpful. All those things. It's so much easier to build trust in person. So anyway, that's a long way of saying, don't blow through your relationships with before you start raising your prices, right? Because after you do that, you may find that you hit a dry patch, right? You've had a lot of great success with some of your local networking groups and winning a whole bunch of new clients, which I'm very proud of. I think you should be too. But we need to step back and think strategically now about, okay, how do I offer more value to these clients? How do I charge more? And if I'm being honest, and I've said this to you before, you're not charging what you're worth. So
Mhm.
me, I'm not talking about taking advantage of them. I'm talking about at least charging what you're worth, and then finding ways to offer greater value to them, and of course, charging accordingly.